Your dream self is begging you to choose them right now. Think about it. Every second that you don't take action, you are actually stealing from your future self. You rob yourself from becoming who you're meant to be, and that is your responsibility. If you take action, you will never lose, and sometimes your life can transform so fast without warning. But if you fail to try, you fail, period. There will never be a perfect day to start, but the right time is now. Your destiny manifests in the present moment. Even if it takes a bit longer than 30 days to achieve your dream, I promise if you start today, you will step into a new stage of your life 1 month from now. So here's what's going to happen. Once you decide, you will begin to see new choices, new options. You start discovering new things about yourself, whether that's you getting a moment of clarity or a small win, or it comes up in the conversation. You literally start seeing new pathways being built in real time. That's when you start getting a taste of that dream life through these sensations, and you start experiencing little bits of your future as you work towards it. And as you keep taking action by staying on track, your energy will change, and this effect starts to snowball. That energy becomes inevitable, and this will eventually take over your whole life. When you finally get to your dream self in the near future, you will feel like you already experienced it 100 times because you literally did. If you're new to my channel, my name is May, and I'm all about improving your life physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, environmentally, and financially. But I have to warn you, if you want to be successful but you prepare for the worst, you're going to end up getting what you prepared for. Because if you really believe in your future, you can feel it today. Everything that you want to achieve and everything that you want to be. So why not dedicate 100% of your energy towards preparing for your success? Let's work on deciding what you want right now. Before we start though, let me ask you this. How much of your life have you actually been present for? Whether you're 18 or 30 or 50, it doesn't matter. How many of these years have you actually lived? Are you even here now, or is your head somewhere else? Do you think you're broken and your life is hard for no reason? Well, I don't think that's true. You don't even have to fix what you think is broken about you. You're wasting time, and I'm gonna tell you why that is. The past may have broke you, but you're not broken right now, and there's nothing to fix. You're just simply not where you want to be yet. Your weaknesses and your trauma doesn't make you any stronger either. That's a misconception. It's actually more about how you respond and how resilient you become because of it. That's how you actually heal, and only then can you grow past your limits to become your dream self. So if you experience something negative, I want you to respond to that instead, because revisiting the past doesn't heal you. Your power is not in your past. So many people are mentally stuck in either the past or the future, and thinking about what happened last week or what's going to happen in 5 years. If you're constantly living in your memories and in your head, your mind is going to keep finding ways to repeat the same pattern. And if you keep living in the future, that's going to create a lot of unnecessary stress and anxiety, because there's no way for you to know what's going to happen aside from knowing what your plans are right now. I want you to realize that your power is only in the present moment. You can only tap into your future potential and create through your present. So sit with me and decide now, and I'm going to help you out. So let's try this exercise together. This is only going to take a minute. So if you want, you can grab a piece of paper or open up your notes app. You can also come back to this later. But once you start the exercise, don't even think about what you're going to write. Just let your intuition and subconscious mind guide you and start writing down words freely while I ask you some questions about yourself. You can pause the video if you want, but try not to take too long or second guess yourself. Okay, so let's start. Who are you now? Can you name at least 3 to 5 words that describe yourself? What are you being right now? What are some things that you value in life? Write down 2 to 3 values. Don't think, just brain dump it. What do you currently do in life? What takes up your time, your day to day? What things define your life, whether it's something you do or own? Does that make you who you are? Do you enjoy these things? And is that how you actually want to see yourself? So look at this piece of paper again and the words that you wrote down, and then tell me, what are some things that you don't want to see? Cross those words out now. If you're on your notes app, you can also strike it out or move the words to a different area. These are what you don't want because you don't relate to it even though it's currently in your life. So now you decided that they won't be a part of your future. And now let's look at what's left on the piece of paper. Look at it for a second and then let's keep going. Now, who is your dream self? Who do you want to be? What do you look like at your fullest potential? What are some of their values? What is important to them? Name 3 to 4 things if you haven't already. Is there a particular career in mind? A goal for a relationship? Can you catch a glimpse of the future? And what does that look like? I want you to write that down too. What does this dream person do on their day-to-day? Write down some words, any kind of words, whatever comes to your mind. You can always come back later. Now look at your paper. Does this more or less describe your dream self? Are there more words you might want to add or cross out? Now's the time to do that. I love a good subconscious brain dump because your ego has no time to interrupt you. So this paper now contains what you truly care about. You have decided that this is going to be the new you. You see where you're at now, what you want to keep identifying with, and what you no longer identify with. This is your blueprint. I'm going to show you how to turn this into an action plan later. So now it's time for you to shift the focus. This is all about what you want to put up with and what you no longer want to put up with. The stuff that you cross out, that's noise now. Even if it's a part of you before you wrote it down, that's now in the past, you are starting the process of healing just by the intention of crossing it out. And that's progress. When you can finally heal, you will know because it will no longer bother you. It won't hurt you anymore. Guys, you need to realize that time does not heal all wounds. Some people will never heal and they keep reliving their pain because it's familiar to them. Healing comes with a shift in perspective, and only when we heal from certain things can we move on with our life. But if there's a lot of noise in your life right now, like maybe you haven't thought about other distractions, for example, especially with people, right? People who we love and are close to us sometimes may keep hurting us. So ask yourself, do you want them in your future? And even with limerence, for example, we keep obsessing over specific people, but you don't really know them and they don't really know you. You're just obsessed with an image. So tell me, why do you keep sending your energy to that and keep giving yourself to them so freely? Take it back, at least for now. During this 30-day period, I want you to become so focused, so disciplined, so determined that you don't even have time to know what's happening in other people's lives and keep comparing yourself to them. Seriously, social media is so full of noise. Noise about people flexing, going on vacations all the time, and living their best lives, especially now that weather is warmer. That can make us feel like we're missing out, but this is all a mirage. Constantly comparing ourselves to things that we know isn't real can make us feel more anxious about being behind in life, even though we're exactly where we're meant to be right now. I want you to stay devoted to your own life journey rather than following other people's lives and getting your energy drained and feeling like you're not good enough. Let's keep our precious energy to ourselves to build us up. So people often tend to be more anxious during the late spring, and my sponsor BetterHelp can connect you with a therapist who can provide support. The majority of the members seek therapy for anxiety, and 69% of them report improved anxiety symptoms after 6 weeks of therapy on BetterHelp. I use it myself. In fact, I've been having therapy every week ever since I uprooted my whole life and moved to a new city. And this has been helping me adjust to a new phase of my life. It's actually such a breakthrough to be able to understand why you feel a certain way about certain things that are happening to you so that you can then come to your own realizations and break free of the patterns that keep you trapped. That's when you truly level up. Starting BetterHelp is easy. All you have to do is fill out the questionnaire on their website and they will match you with the right therapist for you in as little as a couple of days. If you ever feel like your therapist is not the right fit, you can always switch to a different therapist very easily with no extra charge. In fact, my therapist told me it's quite normal and totally okay to switch therapists every once in a while. All of the therapists on the BetterHelp platform are highly qualified to help you, and their customer service team is also available if you have any questions. Let BetterHelp help you control your anxiety so it doesn't control you. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/MayAliceSuzuki and get 10% off your first month of therapy. And thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. You are not stuck. Your brain can rewire itself. That's called neuroplasticity, and your brain has a natural ability to reorganize itself so you can't keep making the same excuses about being the way you are. There is always a way, and excuses will hold you back and limit you. You have to think like, okay, now what? And stop enabling bad behavior. You yourself will know what that looks like. You're only stuck because you keep revisiting your past and keep bringing it to your present moment, and you keep conditioning your brain by enabling and making excuses, and that's how you stay trapped. I have a crystal ball actually, and I can see very clearly that if you keep doing this, then your past will also be your future. So pull yourself back to what you can do now. Everything that you think about can literally create your life. Whether these thoughts are positive or negative, that's who you really are. Thoughts don't just come and go. It's constantly actively impacting us and changing our physical body. It literally generates electric signals in the brain, and these signals will change your body chemistry, and then ultimately it affects the experiences and the opportunities that we attract. So if you consciously start to choose new thoughts, new feelings, new experiences, you will rewire your brain to create a new reality just by sending new signals and creating different chemistry. Think about it. If we're constantly thinking about stress, our body releases stress hormones to respond to it. But if we think about gratitude, which to me is the highest and most positive form of self-expression, our body releases healing chemicals. And gratitude really helps people. When I learned about all of this, it made me realize how we're constantly unknowingly programming ourselves, sometimes for the exact things that we want to avoid because of stupid quotes like, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. I reject that so much. I hate it. If you keep thinking like that, that's what you'll get. Because your mind can think one thing, but you only get what your heart desires. Why not just allocate our resources to prepare for the best? You are more powerful than you think you are, or whatever you've been taught by society or your family or your culture. Literally. There are centuries upon centuries of systems designed to keep people like you oppressed. Because the truth is, your potential scares people. So it actually benefits the system that you shrink and you don't try and you just do as you're told. And if you think about the people around you, 95% of them don't actually want to see you doing better than them because how dare you? They hate to see you win, which is exactly why you have to win. But whatever you wrote down on this piece of paper, I'm telling you right now, this is all possible and you can probably do even more than that. I always end up thinking whenever I manifest something, for example, my only regret is I had not been dreaming bigger. This happens to me all the time. We're not victims of our circumstances or our brain chemistry or our fate. The actual victims, they will stay exactly where they are and they will continue to victimize themselves. However, you can change your fate anytime. You can heal from any circumstance. Circumstance meaning something that happened to you or a situation or any of these things, they don't make you who you are. You are not what happened to you. You are the mindset that you create. You are how you see yourself. You are who you say you are because we are all creators of our reality, whether you know it or not. We are constantly creating. And the thing is, people who don't believe in their power to change, they're choosing to live a conventional life. It's comfortable because they don't need to take responsibility for their actions. They don't have to stay accountable if something doesn't work out. Like you think maybe that's the easy way out, right? But they have been building a cage for themselves their entire life. I promise you, it would not be easy for them when one day they wake up and they're 85 and they realize that they didn't try their best for 85 years and it's too late. Some people will end up spending their whole life building someone else's dream. Think about it. If your life isn't really where you want to be yet, how much of that is because you don't believe in yourself? So if you change your thoughts, change your feelings, and change your actions to fit into this new dream concept that you're building, then how much of your life can you reshape? Even our minds alone can be so powerful. Did you know that there are studies done where people just imagine themselves working out, as in just doing bicep curls and exercises in their mind? They actually grew their muscles without even lifting a single weight in real life. That's the mind to muscle connection. When I learned about that technique, I was so shocked because I used it when I worked out and I had to stop because I was getting too muscular too fast. Your mind is so much more powerful than your body if you use it correctly. Your subconscious mind also cannot see the difference between real and fake and reality and vivid imagination. It's like a robot. You need to update the system or it will keep doing what it was programmed to do. This also means you really can feed your mind whatever you want and it will believe you. Creating the action plan to your dream life. So now let's create your action plan. Let's take your dream concept and start writing some vivid stories about it. You can take some time to journal this, or you can just feed it into ChatGPT and then do some editing. I'm gonna give you a few prompts for that. If you're doing ChatGPT, you can say, take all of these words that I'm giving you from a brain dump about creating my dream life. These words, word 1, word 2, word 3, are how I identify with myself currently. I have crossed out these words, word 1, word 2, word 3, as I no longer see them as part of my identity. Finally, these words, word 1, word 2, word 3, are a part of my new dream concept. Create an actionable 30-day plan to bridge my current self to my dream self. Imagine an ideal day and week in the life of my dream self. Describe it and what they do, what habits and anchors they have, who they may interact with, what their mornings, afternoons, and evenings look like. Make this as creative and vivid as you can to jog my memory. Now let's come up with some key components of what it takes to live my dream life, whether those are hitting core tenets such as achievements, events, major life occasions, or hitting milestones. Describe each scene in cinematic and vivid detail, capture the emotions and excitement around it, and write down a few affirmations per milestone, helping me step into seeing this in my imagination and affirming that this can be my future self. Now, with all of this in mind, let's reimagine my 30-day plan. Create a day-by-day plan that takes me as far as I can get with no limits to my potential into living my dream life by the end of the 30 days. Of course, you can always make your own edits to the prompts, but I tried it and it got me so hyped up about my future, so I will definitely also be doing this 30-day plan with you. But now that you see that all of these scenarios are laid out and you have a custom-made day-to-day action plan, and you will know if that's what you really want. Because sometimes it's not, and you might want something else. Either way, you're going to feel it in your bones. Whether you want to work on this plan a few hours a day or just set it aside and let the universe guide you, I want you to save all of this information somewhere so that you can find it later, including that piece of paper with your dream self-concept. Finding your heart-mind alignment. Your heart and mind need to be in harmony and alignment with each other. That's when you feel emotions and you think thoughts and you take action, and all of that makes total sense to you. If it's not aligned, like for example, if we want to have more peace in our lives, but then we have anxiety in our minds, that's going to create a lot of inner chaos because both your heart and your mind are going to war at each other. That's going to make it difficult for you to grow. So think about your new dream life and all of these visualizations and plans that you made. Are you feeling any kind of inner conflict about it or even feelings of uneasiness? If you are, then I want you to dig into that feeling and figure out what exactly is making you feel that way. You can breathe very intentionally into it, and there are different kinds of breathing exercises that you can do, or you can even meditate on it. Self-awareness and grounding exercises help us harmonize better between mind, body, spirit. It helps us increase our communication skills between the heart and the mind. That's how our intuition can connect to our brain to be able to hear things like, oh wait, actually this is what my mom wants for me, but it's not what I want. My brain wants this, but my heart wants something else. That's when we can actually transform and break through to the next level, because I'm telling you, you have all the answers within you. Everyone has inner wisdom inside them, but not everyone knows how to tap into it. Your heart and mind needs to talk and have a clear communication pathway so that you know what gives you alignment and what doesn't. The future already exists. You already have your dream self potential inside of you already. You just have to become it. I talk about finding alignment because it's so important. This is the secret ingredient. It's like finding the right keys to unlock the door so you can walk through it. Our own frequency and alignment needs to match up to that dream self version in order to step into it. And your emotions are the key. It's all about feeling as if you already have what you wish for. And if you can think and you can feel like the person who already has what you want, then you will increase your chances of becoming that person. It's a very simple concept, but I think this is also where a lot of people fumble the most. It's so easy to think about our goals. It's so easy to take action, but if you don't feel it and you don't think it, then you are not it. When you are aligned, you can trust that the universe will guide you in the direction that you need to go. I made a video recently about how to receive blessings from the universe, so if you want to watch that after this, you can go for it. But for me, I keep my senses open and my gut and intuition healthy so that I can communicate with the universe. These messages can be symbols or numbers that you keep seeing everywhere. Maybe a person in your life says or does something that somehow resonates with that future version of you. Or sometimes it can even look like total hellfire where some crazy drama happens and you need to burn everything to the ground in order to move into a new life. Or just, maybe you get a call or an email about an opportunity and it comes to you and you're ready for it. But I think a lot of people hyper focus on your goals and it becomes obsessive and messy. I think that's also proof that they're not aligned. It should feel natural to you as you make progress. Considerations and potential sabotage. So there are a few things to be aware of so that you don't get discouraged when it gets tough. You might not want to hear this, but you need to hear it. This is like the terms and conditions, limited warranty section. But if at the end of the 30 days, you're not where you want to be, it's not the end. It's more likely a new beginning for you, and eventually you're going to see why. Because your dream life may or may not come to you in the exact way that you want it to be. Sometimes you get roadblocks that are actually a catalyst in disguise, and you can grow so much from it if you can overcome that challenge. Sometimes you might even get something way, way better that you couldn't even imagine for yourself as you start to work on your 30-day plan, because sometimes things will reveal themselves to you as you work. This is why you also have to stay curious and be open to opportunities that you don't expect, because that will happen to you at some point. You've already done all of the groundwork to rewire your brain, so of course unexpected things are going to happen to you. But if you're not open to that, you might block your blessings. And for certain things, you might also really be required to really work on yourself before your dream life can happen, which is why I was emphasizing a lot about healing and feeling secure before you can actually take action. A lot of people don't like that part because it can get difficult and they give up too quickly. So if at the end of 30 days it's still not happening for you, at that point, universe is telling you that it's not the right time time yet, but later on, you're going to look back at it and you'll be able to figure out exactly why. Always. Every single time that I thought I couldn't get what I want, it's because I was meant for something much bigger that I couldn't have imagined at the time. And it takes me failing at something or even having to burn my whole life to the ground to be able to really see it, because then there's nothing else distracting me. Sometimes you're going to get a catalyst or something to really speed up the process, and it's usually some super dramatic challenge. It's like a test right before you get what you want. I'm going to give you my story because I don't think I ever shared how I got here, but I'm going to try and keep this brief. So I actually have a bit of talent with drawing, and I had some issues of shyness around showing my creative work. And when I did, one of my ex-boyfriends actually stole my artwork. So in order to reclaim that side of myself, and because I like tattoos, I wanted to become a tattoo artist. I set up a studio at home. I learned how to tattoo, and then eventually I started to practice on myself and on other people. I wanted to get to the point where I could turn this hobby into a creative side hustle, but then I overshared this with the wrong people before I was ready. So one of those people that I shared it with was a coworker of mine, and they're not truly your friends, especially if they want your job. But I was so naive. I thought we were friends, I thought we were close, but they were secretly in competition with me. I found out that they were spreading gossip and manipulating my reputation behind my back. And I learned that this person built an entire case to get me fired because they wanted my job, and now they found some information to cling onto because I overshared, so that they can prove that I wasn't dedicated to my job. There are a few lessons to be learned from this. One, don't tell a single person what you're working on until you're ready. And sometimes it's better not to share the vulnerable and in progress parts of yourself if you don't want to get hurt, because you never know who's the wrong person. Two, insecure people are very toxic and dangerous to your cause, especially if it's directed towards you. It doesn't even matter what you've done for them. They will still see their own lack in everything, and they will leave a trail of destruction. So find out who these people are in your life, clock it ASAP, and protect yourself. Three, if you're building someone else's dream, that's not your dream. In my case, I was building my boss's dream until one day they decide to get rid of me. And if you're an employee, that is not your dream. If they make you think that it is, it's a scam. The only dream job you can ever have is one where you are your own boss and it fulfills your life's purpose. And then four, your higher self or your spirit really wants the best for you, and it will protect you through the worst times. And the funny thing is, I found out that I was getting fired long before it actually happened, just by using my intuition. Because apparently at some point, everyone around me knew except for me, but of course nobody said anything. Everyone pretended to be really nice and continue on with business as usual, except I could feel them starting to not be real with me. And I was so stressed out for the constant sabotaging at work and things going wrong that I actually began to develop some abilities as a protective mechanism where I became clairsentient and claircognizant. This means that I develop intrinsic knowing, and I can read people's true intentions about me. And this has some truth with MK Ultra mind control programs that the CIA did, for example, where if you're under certain deliberate stressors, you develop psychic abilities. I've always had that, and we all have it in us, but it became really heightened and really obvious. Beyond just noticing that, okay, it's a little bit weird the way that they're looking at me, I actually started to see through people whenever they look at me, and I could read their intentions like an open book. So through all of this intrinsic knowing, I realized the behind the back coercion and exactly how everything was starting to turn against me. Even though I worked there for years through thick and thin, it doesn't matter. I started to become expendable, and there were a few occasions actually where I knew that was the day that I was getting fired, so I kept dodging it. The third time that it happened, I actually got really mad because now I knew that they were going to fire me on my birthday, and that toxic coworker had a part to play in that. They really wanted to hurt me. So instead, I took the rest of the week off and I took a last minute trip to the Bahamas, and I celebrated myself. That was the moment that I chose me and started this whole journey. And I've grown so much since then. I'm a completely different person now. But ever since that incident, nobody in my life can surprise me anymore. That psychic ability still has not gone away. And when you learn to tune into your intuition, whether by will or by force, crazy things start to happen. And I really needed it because spirit was trying to protect me. I had a bunch of things happening at the same time, like family problems, and my own health was in jeopardy, but I didn't know it. It was only after I was fired that my health issues revealed itself to me. I became too sick and depressed to work on my old dream at the time, so I gave up on it. I laid it to rest. I threw away my supplies. But then at the same time, and I never watched YouTube before, I started watching YouTube videos, and I was like, maybe I could do this. For me, this whole process took a bit longer than a month to get to my dream because I wasn't trying to do that. I only wanted to just get through it and survive, and everything got much worse before it got better. I had to learn the hard way of how to heal myself, and only through that process I became who I am today. And I love my life now, and maybe I'll share the full story with you at some point because there's so much drama. It's actually my hero's journey, but everything that I had mentioned had to happen that way for a reason, because if it didn't, one, I could have been unalive because I wouldn't have known about the health condition, and then two, I wouldn't have become who I am today. Sometimes your ops or your enemies are placed in your life to actually help you become your best self, even though you know that's the last thing that they want for you. They serve their purpose by revealing themselves to you so that you can level up, but you have to choose to do that. And everything that happened to me was extremely necessary for me, and it marked a new beginning. On top of that, I realized that no weapon ever prospers against me, and I am so protected and I'm so guided by spirit, and that gives me confidence, and I know that that can be true for you too. We have all these abilities within us, but sometimes you need to have the breakdown and the catalyst in order for everything to move very quickly and have that breakthrough moment. And if you keep going at your dreams, you're going to look back at your lowest moments someday, and you will see how it was actually the best thing that ever happened to you. For me, spirit unveiled it in the funniest way actually, because I had succeeded in doing the very thing that my old workplace had tried so hard to do and they gave up on it, but I didn't give up. And that's the best kind of vindication or revenge, so to speak. I don't believe in deliberately taking revenge, but trust me, I didn't have to do anything and I still got it. Because these people watching you live your dreams while they stay where they're at, that's karma. And in life, you really reap what you sow. Anyway, that's my story in a nutshell. And last but not least, another thing that I have to warn you about, it can be lonely at the top. You'll realize that once you're living your dream, you're gonna look around you and you will notice that 99% of people are not doing that. They're just existing. They're not living. You will not be able to connect with that type of energy anymore, but don't go back and shrink yourself for them or try to fix them. You can't fix people because they're also not broken. If anything, you can inspire them. But if not, sometimes we can also love people from a distance. But it's important for us to continue to stay open and to stay curious, because it doesn't have to be lonely. You're not the only dreamer in the world. There are so many people out there too who also crave the same things as you. You just have to find them. And maybe if you find people who are also aligned to you, you can build dream lives together. Anyways, enough rambling. Now that you know what to expect, let's get to work. I want you to affirm in the comments, I will become my dream self. I also want to mention that my group trip to Greece is happening in mid-June and it's still not too late to join. If you need that escape to reset and celebrate yourself this summer, consider joining me, and you can find info on my website in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.